Number 13. Kiwis love using the F word, but not the one you think. New Zealand isn't just about jaw-dropping landscapes. It's also full of delightful little shocks that'll make your jaw drop for other reasons. Let's start with shoes, or rather, the lack of them. Here, it's perfectly normal to see people walking barefoot, in supermarkets, on buses, even along city streets. To Kiwis, ditching footwear isn't weird. It's a way to stay grounded, literally, and feel connected to nature. And don't worry about stepping on snakes. New Zealand has 0 wild snakes. It's one of the rare countries on Earth that's completely snake-free. Then there's the way they say hello. While you might go for a handshake, Māori culture prefers something more intimate, the hongi. That's when two people press their foreheads and noses together in a quiet exchange called the breath of life. It's not just a greeting, it's a symbol of respect, trust, and shared humanity. If someone invites you to perform a hongi, it means you're not just welcome, you're considered wano, or family. But perhaps the most surprising part? The language. You'll hear locals casually talking about places like Wakapapa, pronounced Whakapapa. No, they're not swearing. It's a ski resort on Mount Wapehu and a deeply respected term in Māori, referring to ancestry and heritage. There are many Māori words that sound spicy to English-speaking ears, but here they're entirely innocent and often sacred. Number 12. The Kingdom of Sheep. There's one animal that rules New Zealand, and no, it's not the kiwi bird. It's sheep, millions and millions of them. With over 25 million sheep and just 5 million humans, New Zealand once had the highest sheep-to-human ratio in the world, 5-to-1. Drive across any part of the country, lush valleys, rugged hills, even suburban roads, and chances are you'll spot fluffy herds casually grazing. In fact, traffic jams in the countryside are often caused by sheep, not cars. But these woolly residents aren't just cute, they're economic powerhouses. In 2023 alone, lamb and goat meat exports brought in around 4 billion USD, supplying premium markets in Europe, China, North America, and the Middle East. Why so successful? New Zealand sheep are raised on natural pastures without antibiotics, and the meat is known for its clean, tender quality. And it's not just the meat. New Zealand is also one of the world's top producers of merino wool, a superfine, ultra-soft fiber that's thinner than human hair, but incredibly warm and breathable. It's a favorite among luxury clothing brands and outdoor gear companies like Icebreaker and Smartwool. The wool industry alone generates about $300 million USD annually, supporting thousands of jobs in rural areas and preserving centuries-old farming traditions. Number 11. The world's best country for retirement. If you've ever dreamed of retiring somewhere peaceful, beautiful, and stress-free, New Zealand might be your personal paradise. In a 2024 global ranking by International Living, New Zealand was named the second best country in the world for retirement, and it's easy to see why. Let's start with healthcare. New Zealand's public system consistently ranks among the global top 10, offering world-class medical care that's either free or incredibly affordable for seniors. From home support services to long-term rehabilitation care, retirees here don't just live longer, they live better. In fact, the average life expectancy is over 82 years, one of the highest in the world. But it's not just about medicine, it's about quality of life. New Zealand offers a safe, community-driven environment with low crime rates and a strong emphasis on social inclusion. Over 70% of senior citizens participate in clubs, hobby groups, or volunteer programs, helping them stay mentally sharp and emotionally fulfilled. The government also steps in with plenty of perks. Housing support, discounted public transport, subsidized leisure programs, Everything to make golden years truly golden. Number 10. Wellington, the windiest capital on Earth. Welcome to Wellington, New Zealand's artsy, charming little capital, and the undisputed heavyweight champion of wind. Locals lovingly call it Windy Welly, and one gust outside your hotel will tell you why. This city sits right between the Cook Strait and the rugged hills, making it the windiest capital city on Earth, with gusts that can knock your coffee cup right off the table or your hat off your head. But Wellington isn't all bluster. This small capital punches above its weight with a perfect blend of culture, creativity, and coastal charm. Rather than steel and glass skyscrapers, the city is dotted with historic architecture, artsy cafes, low-rise homes, and walls bursting with colorful street murals. It's part postcard, part paintbrush. Dig a little deeper, literally, and you'll find underground tunnels built during World War II. These secret passages were designed for emergencies, but today they stand as symbols of Wellington's resilience and layered history. When the sun goes down, Wellington turns vibrant. Live music echoes from cozy bars. Māori performances light up the night, and art galleries stay open late for night owls and culture seekers. It's not just New Zealand's capital, it's its cultural heartbeat. So yes, the wind may ruffle your hair, but Wellington will steal your heart. Number 9. A nation of daredevils. Welcome to the ultimate playground for adrenaline junkies, New Zealand, where thrill-seeking isn't just a hobby, it's a way of life. This is the birthplace of bungee jumping. Yes, that wild sport where people dive off bridges with nothing but a rope tied to their ankles. It all began in 1988 when the world's first commercial bungee jump took place from the Kawaro Bridge in Queenstown. That 43-meter leap kicked off an adventure tourism revolution and crowned Queenstown as the extreme sports capital of the world. Still want more? Skydiving over New Zealand isn't just falling, it's flying. From up to 18,000 feet, you freefall at 200 kilometers per hour, soaring over the Southern Alps, shimmering lakes, and snow-draped glaciers. It's a view and a rush you'll never forget. And yes, even beginners can do it with tandem jumps. Craving speed instead of heights? Hop on a jet boat. These high-octane machines blaze through tight river canyons, spinning in full 360-degree turns, skimming rock walls inches away, all at 80 kilometers an hour and with no brakes. It's chaos, it's thrilling, and it's 100% Kiwi. Which one would you dare to try? Drop your choice in the comments. We're betting at least one of these just landed on your bucket list. Number 8. When a goat was elected president. Yes, you heard that right. New Zealand once had a goat for president. And no, this isn't a joke. Welcome to Whangamomona, a tiny town of about 150 residents that declared itself a republic in 1989, all because of a government decision to redraw local boundaries. Instead of accepting the change, the locals responded with their own brand of rebellion. They formed their own nation. Since then, the Republic of Whangamona has leaned into the joke, with national holidays, presidential elections, and even passports for tourists. Every 2 years, the town hosts Republic Day, a festival full of quirky events, sheep races, eel swimming, pig riding, and, of course, the highlight, electing the next president. And in 1999, the winner was Billy Gumboot the Goat. According to town legend, Billy clinched the election by eating the ballots of his opponents. He served loyally for 18 months until he passed away still in office. A true martyr of the Goat Nation. Number 7. The country that keeps getting erased from world maps. Imagine trying to prove your nationality only to discover your country doesn't exist on the map. That's exactly what happened in 2017 to a young New Zealand woman traveling through Kazakhstan. When authorities questioned the authenticity of her passport, she tried pointing to her homeland on a world map, only to realize New Zealand wasn't there. As bizarre as it sounds, this isn't a one-time fluke. New Zealand, home to over 5 million people, has mysteriously gone missing from countless world maps. In textbooks, on tourism posters, inside museums, and even at the United Nations headquarters in Geneva. The mystery is so common, there's an actual Wikipedia page explaining why this keeps happening. The biggest culprit? Geography. New Zealand sits way down in the bottom right corner of most maps. With the popular Mercator projection, it's often pushed to the edge, or just cropped out altogether by lazy designers trying to fit everything in a neat rectangle. Well, probably not, but just to be sure, go check the world map in your home. Is New Zealand on it? If not, you might be part of the problem. Number 6, celebrating Christmas in the summer. While much of the world celebrates Christmas in snowy wonderlands, New Zealand flips the script, literally. Here, Christmas falls in the middle of summer. Instead of snowflakes and fireplaces, you'll find sunshine, BBQs, and sandy beaches. Imagine Christmas lunch as a seafood feast, enjoyed under a beach umbrella with waves crashing nearby and the temperature hitting 30 degrees Celsius. Why? Because New Zealand sits in the southern hemisphere, where the seasons are completely reversed. Spring, September to November. Summer, December through February. So when North Americans and Europeans are bundled up in scarves and mittens, New Zealanders are firing up the grill, throwing backyard cricket matches, and swimming in the ocean. Number 5, a man with a 2,000 character name. What if your name was so long it needed its own scroll to be written out? In New Zealand, you'll find a hill with a name so long you might run out of breath just trying to pronounce it. This is Tawamata Wakatangi Hangako Aua Oatamateuri Puka Kapiki Maunga Horonu Kopai Wai Kitana Tahu. Yes, that's one word. It has 85 characters and holds the Guinness World Record for the longest place name on Earth. In Māori, it poetically translates to the summit where Tamatea, the man with the big knees, who slid, climbed, and swallowed mountains, played his nose flute to his beloved. A tongue twister? Definitely. A love story? Also yes. But here's where things get even more extreme. In 1990, a New Zealand man named Lawrence Gregory Watkins legally changed his name to a 2,310 character-long string of phrases. His name, which we won't even try to pronounce, includes entire sentences of religious devotion, declarations of faith, and tributes to his family. He did it not for fame, but for meaning, and perhaps a spot in the Guinness Book of Records, which he proudly earned. Number 4, top must-visit destinations in New Zealand. If the world had a natural movie set, it would be called New Zealand. This country is a masterpiece of Earth's best work, each corner feeling like a different world. Let's look at 4 must-visit places that define New Zealand's wild beauty. First up, Milford Sound. Tucked deep within Fiordland National Park, Milford Sound is like a dream wrapped in mist. With sheer cliffs, sky-high waterfalls, and fjords that seem to float between clouds, this place is often called the 8th wonder of the world. Explore it by boat, kayak, or helicopter, each revealing a new dimension of this magical place. Next, Hobbiton. Yes, it's real. The film set from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit still exists in Matamata. Wander through the Shire, visit grass-roofed hobbit holes, and grab a drink at the Green Dragon Inn. It's a fantasy brought to life, perfect for fans and dreamers alike. Then, Rotorua, a land that literally bubbles beneath your feet. Rotorua is New Zealand's geothermal heart, alive with steaming geysers, sulfur springs, and boiling mud pools. But it's more than science. It's a center of Māori culture. Watch a haka performance, eat a traditional hangi meal cooked in the earth, and soak in mineral-rich hot springs. Number 3. Unique New Zealand cuisine. What does New Zealand taste like? Not flashy, not overly fancy, but undeniably rich in flavor. New Zealand's cuisine is all about nature, simplicity, and soul. And at the heart of it all, roast lamb, the unofficial national dish. As one of the world's top lamb exporters, New Zealand takes this dish seriously. Tender, grass-fed meat, marinated in garlic and rosemary, slow-roasted to perfection. Served with vegetables and mint sauce, it's a Sunday tradition and a national debate. Ask any Kiwi and they'll passionately argue, is the leg or the shoulder the superior cut? Another Kiwi favorite? Fish and chips. Borrowed from Britain, but perfected with fresh local seafood and crispy homegrown potatoes. There's nothing like enjoying it seaside, wrapped in paper, waves crashing nearby. For a true taste of New Zealand on the go, try the beloved meat pie. A warm pastry packed with savory beef, lamb, or cheese in rich gravy. So treasured, there's an annual competition to crown the best meat pie in the nation. And yes, it's a big deal. Number 2. Vibrant festivals you can't miss. If you think Kiwis are laid back all year, wait until festival season. New Zealand comes alive with color, tradition, and a little bit of madness. First, there's Matariki, the Māori New Year. From late June to early July, families gather under the rising Matariki star cluster, known globally as the Pleiades, to honor ancestors, share food, and welcome a new cycle. The skies fill with lanterns, the ground with haka performances, and hearts with warmth and reflection. Then, things get wild, literally, at the Hokitika Wild Foods Festival in March. This isn't your average food fair. Think fried scorpions, eel sausages, crickets dipped in caramel, and venison burgers. It's equal parts challenge and celebration, with live music, quirky competitions, and fruit beer to wash it all down. For thrill seekers, February brings the Burt Munro Challenge in Invercargill. Named after the legendary speed demon who broke world records on his vintage Indian motorcycle, this festival features 5 days of high-octane races, vintage bikes, and pure Kiwi adrenaline. Number 1. The high cost of living in New Zealand. New Zealand may look like paradise, but paradise comes at a price. With its stunning landscapes, fresh air, and easygoing lifestyle, it's no wonder many dream of moving here. But before you pack your bags, there's one thing you must consider: the cost of living. Let's start with rent. In cities like Wellington or Christchurch, a one-bedroom apartment can set you back $480 to $600 USD per week. Yes, per week. Move out to the suburbs or smaller towns, and it may dip to around $450, but housing remains one of the biggest expenses. Then there are the basics: electricity, water, gas, internet. Fuel prices? A full tank may just cost more than your weekend road trip. Groceries are generally fresh and high quality, with lots of local produce, seafood, and lamb. But for one adult, a typical grocery bill ranges from $36 to $50 per week.